Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive into this reading and see what this time period, what this moon has in store for you. And this is going to be from full moon to full moon, so from June 5th to July 5th. All right, so what I'm going to start off doing is I'm going to move your Queen of the Moon and your Moonology cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot at the end to really give Luna, to really give the moon a voice of her own. So let's see what the tarot has to say, and then I have everything all set up here for you in regards to this moon. How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Ooh. All right, so at the center of everything, we have the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Earth. That is amazing. You're crowned by the 10 of Water, the 10 of Cups, which is absolutely beautiful. The repeat of the number 10 shows that you're coming to a completion of a cycle. You're also really stepping into your power. You have the Fool right here, which is amazing. The 6 of Air, another great card. The Messenger of Air, which is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. This is a Knight. So here you are using your mind quite literally to move yourself forward, to really look at things in a new way, meaning you're puzzling something out. You have the Ace of Fire, which is very much linked to the full moon in Sagittarius, which is on the 5th of June. And then you have here Transformation, which is the Death card. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, Scorpio, this is you shining through. So that's beautiful. You have the 10 of Fire. I love this. You have the King of Earth. That makes sense. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And you have the 5 of Water, the 5 of Cups. All right, so you have 10 happening 3 times. 3 is a divine number, and the fact that you have it happening 3 times shows that divinity is moving you forward in a very powerful way and in a way that you hadn't expected before. You have the Fool right here, which is really linking you to this visionary moon in Sagittarius, to this truth-seeking, truth-telling moon, because this is the beginning of your hero's journey. This is you embracing your hero's journey. And you might say, oh, Dane, I've been on my hero's journey for quite some time. Yes, but if that's the truth, then you are finding a new way to move forward in your truth, in your power. You are seeing new aspects and facets to yourself that is freeing you, empowering you, and really, really guiding you. So with this moon, what is so cool about it is that it has you looking at the bigger picture because it's the full moon in Sagittarius. But because Sagittarius is represented by the bow and arrow, it really is you taking aim. And I see this aim being with the Ace of Fire. It's kind of like that is your bolt. It is the gift that God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you to kind of take what you want, to look at what you want, and to go after it, to define it, to move yourself forward in passion and determination. And as you do so, you're going to be experiencing extremes, because here in the Queen of the Moon cards, this is the hot moon, all right? But in the Farmer's Almanac, this is the strawberry moon. There's a sweetness to this moon, but there's also an intensity to this moon that is really calling to you, that is having you see things differently, that is having you see yourself differently. And as you're looking at these extremes, you're looking at the beginnings and endings of things, which really has me linking this moon to the god Janus in Roman mythology. And he is the god of goodness. He's the god of beginnings and endings. He's the god of gateways. He is also why January is called January. January is named after him. So here you're going to have these beginnings, these endings, these walking through kind of one-dimensional way of being into another dimension of being, this kind of, transurfing? I read that book, and I forget who wrote it, but a friend of mine was like, oh my gosh, you have to read this. And it was a bit interesting to get into, but once you got into it, it was like, wow, it held weight to it. So it's kind of like you are moving towards what you want, and instead of sitting there and thinking, oh, I have to visualize this, I have to, do this, I have to do that, you have to let yourself step into the other reality where it already is, which sounds kind of weird to me, but it's almost like you are stepping into that headspace of, but this is how my life is. This is how I'm moving forward. And you're changing the way almost your neurons are firing. You're changing what you're going after, what you are looking at. And that's going to be a really powerful force for you during this moon. And it leads you, because what's so cool with these two moons here on the 5th of June and on the 5th of July is that we've come out of a 4-cycle supermoon, right? So we've had the supermoons, they've been completely intense, they amplify things, right? And they make emotions run high. And here with the eclipse, we now go into a series of 2 lunar eclipses for this moon. So here it says conclusions are within reach. It kind of takes away the light and gives you the darkness to say, what is it that you want? What is it that you desire? What is it that you need? And how are you moving forward? That's going to be in a very empowering stance for you to take, because as you're looking at the bigger picture, you're seeing that sweetness. You're seeing the beauty of what you want, and you're saying, I'm not being held back. The cool thing with the Sagittarius full moon is that it's strongly linked to the goddess Artemis. Now, the goddess Artemis was the goddess of the moon. She was the goddess of the hunt. She's Diana in Roman mythology. Artemis is her in Greek mythology. And this is freedom and independence. And why I see this linked with Artemis is because, and bear with me here, is you have here a surrendering to divine power, which I see as the god Janus. I also see as now the goddess Artemis coming into play. So as you surrender to the divine, you embrace your power. Now, the thing with Artemis is that she was a virgin goddess, just like Athena was a virgin goddess. Now, this does not mean to kind of reclaim or stay in virginity wherever you are in your journey. That's completely up to you. But it is a sense of taking power. Because back in ancient Roman times and ancient Greek times, your marriage was not, especially if you were more well off, but even if you weren't, your marriage was not decided by you. It was decided by your parents. It did not matter, well, by your father, mainly. It did not matter if you were male or female. Your marriage was decided. And you could be married to somebody, and then they could fall out of political favor, or, something could happen, or a better alliance would be somewhere else. You would be divorced. It wouldn't be your choice. You wouldn't have a say. You would be divorced, and then you would be going to another house, right? So here, when I see the goddess Artemis coming in, and with the Sagittarian energy of fire and passion and communication, it's like you're choosing your path, and you will not have another choose it for you. And that's the power that the virgin goddesses had during that time, because they were able to choose their destiny when other women weren't. But it's also they were able to choose their destiny when others weren't, in a whole grand scheme, no matter what your gender was. So here you're taking your power. You are claiming your destiny. You are saying, okay, well, this is me and this is what I want. And you're not apologizing. You're not looking at it as if, you are wrong. You're saying, but this is where I stand. And you're going to find tremendous power in that truth with the illumination of the moon coming forward, with the sense of this cool light that reflects the sun guiding you, lighting your path. It's going to guide you to where it is that you want to be. And it's going to have you taking the expectations of others and saying, no, it's not your life. You have yours. You live it for you. I'm living it for me. And so on June 21st, you have the new moon in Cancer, which says you and your loved ones are safe. So that is astoundingly nice to hear, especially during these pandemics and everything like that. It's like, oh my gosh, so here it's like you and your loved ones are safe. And as you are embracing safety with the state of the world and everything, you are looking at a new start. You are looking at yourself moving forward. And always on the full moon, not the full moon, the new moon, I see you walking into new beginnings, but you walk into extremes. The new moon is this time of contemplation, introspection, a time of new beginnings, all right? A time to sit there and say, what is it that I desire? How is it that I want to springboard forward? What is it that I'm planning for the next lunar cycle? It is also moving you towards your goals, your desires. And here it says a new start is coming as you embrace your beginnings. But you will have the extremes of the winter and of the summer coming forward. It's like you will have the extremes of your life pulling you and of your emotional self. And as you do so, right, you're going to be really quite ready when the full moon comes into Capricorn on the 5th of July, because it says an end of a tough cycle approaches. And you're going to see here change. Now, this is the Thunder Moon. The Thunder Moon is really cool because this is in the Queen of the Moon cards, because it is the sound. It is the sound of change. It is that cracking, bang in the sky. And it's like things are changing. It's almost like it's decreed, right? So I always just think of Zeus or Thor when I think of lightning. So here, what you're looking at is you're looking at a change. You're looking at the change that you need within your life. You're looking at the change that you want within your life. There's something that seems to be kind of igniting it forward for you. But this is also the stag and the buck moon in the Farmer's Almanac, which means that it's connecting you with majesty. Just think of Bambi, right? The Disney Bambi. Bambi is this little, boy deer, and his father, when he meets his father, he's this stag, this king of the forest. And that's what you're becoming. It's almost like the story of Bambi. You're looking at your life and the security, the love, the support that is supposed to be there around you, protecting you, is gone, right? Which is blunt to say, but it's kind of like nobody can stop life from coming. It's not the same as Bambi's story, of course, when his mother is shot by the hunter, but, it's kind of like you are put out into this world, and you have to find your footing within it. And you'll find friends along the way, you'll see things, people will change, people will grow. And when you finally find your space, when you find the kingdom that you are to rule over, nobody can guide you in that but you. And so here, you're looking at the end of a tough cycle approaching. You're looking at the end of the doubts, the fears, the apprehensions. And it's not that they're always going to be gone. It's that you're sitting there, Scorpio, and you're saying, I can spend my whole life afraid, or I can move forward. Or I can look at this cycle and say the change is coming, and I am the catalyst for that change. And as you embrace this, you are going to feel really drawn to the spirit animals for June. And the spirit animals for June are the deer spirit and the eagle spirit. Now, the deer spirit says, bring a gentle touch. And you're going to find that that's very important to you, to the people that you like. You're going to find it harder, Scorpio, to bring that gentle touch to people who you don't like and who you really don't care about at that moment. So here, bringing a gentle touch is going to be sometimes a bit of a feat, but it's going to be vital to you and imperative for you as you expand your boundaries. Because here, it is being gentle, but not defenseless. You're having this beautiful balance of self. It's being strong and brave when needed, but not sitting there and saying, I have to be ready for battle all the time. That's just going to be draining to you. You're not going to like it. You are moving towards natural beauty, this kind of earth mother, very much planting your feet in the ground, looking at what you desire type of way and how you can nurture it, how it can keep on growing. And as you see this, you are embracing a degree of innocence. Now, it doesn't mean that you haven't learned your lessons, or it doesn't mean that you are hopelessly naive. What it means is that you're looking at this world and you're saying, I am not going to be playing the messed up games that everybody else plays. I'm going to be standing my ground, knowing my strength, but knowing the kindness of my heart matters more than people think it does. And that leads you to the eagle spirit. And the eagle spirit, what I love is that these are two very contrasting images. So you have a herbivore and a carnivore. You have an animal that just seems to radiate gentleness. But if you've ever come face to face with a deer, one time I walked out of my house and I came face to face with a deer, and it was absolutely terrifying. That she was huge. She was absolutely huge. And so here, you're looking at things, it's kind of like the perception of what it is quite different than the reality. So people are going to perceive you one way. It's very different from the reality. You really don't have the inclination, Scorpio, to, divulge them of, divest them of that misconception. You're like, sit there, you're like, you want to be a fool? You be a fool. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to move forward in my power. And as you do so, you know that Spirit has your back. And the reason why Spirit has your back, represented by the eagle, is because eagles can fly higher than any other birds, right? And they can also see better than you. So human beings are apex sight hunters. That's why we categorize things by sight. It's very natural for us to do that, to sit there and say, it looks like this. If we were other animals, we would most likely categorize it by scent, because that's what primarily a lot of animals are. They're scent hunters. So here, when you're looking at what you want, you're seeing it, but Spirit is seeing it more clearly. When you're looking at how high you want to go, Yes, you can build buildings, and yes, we can go higher than the birds can fly, but that takes a heck of a lot of time. Spirit can fly higher, and it's not limited to just one building. So here, you're going to see yourself claiming what you desire, flying to new heights, and looking at things, but really in a way that says, I'm taking care of me, and I don't really care who you're taking care of. And it sounds harsh to say that. You might say, Dayton, I care who everybody is taking care of. And it's like, during this time, during this visionary time, during this time of your hero's journey and so much coming at you, you're going to sit there and really feel like I have to handle me, so you have to handle you. And it's going to be something that's very important to say, these are the lines. This is what needs to be done. And as you do this, you enter into the spirit animals for July, which I don't have any of them, of course, in my cards. So here, the July spirit animals are the woodpecker spirit and the salmon spirit. So the woodpecker spirit is seeking to rekindle passion in finding the truth. So it's seeking to rekindle the passion of the truth, and you're looking for it. That's why the Fool's Journey so absolutely terribly important for you during this time. And as you're doing this, you are encouraging to evolve your creativity. You're really kind of sparking your creativity. It is evolving. You're moving forward. And as you do so, you are going to find yourself very inclined to protect those who are weaker than you. And there has to be that line there, though, here, Scorpio, to not sit there and tell people who need your help, I will just take your load. You have to sit there and be like, I can help you. I can ease this. I can help you move forward. But I cannot take your lesson from you because it's a sacred lesson. We are here to learn sacred lessons. And so the two animals that I have to show the woodpecker spirit, which I was blown away that I would need too, is that sense of I'm going to protect those who are weaker than me. That's the bear spirit. Right off the bat, that is the bear spirit. And the bear spirit says, take time out. Take time out to follow your heart, to know the seeds that you are planting on this earth. And then the hummingbird spirit is be here now. When you are rekindling your passion for the truth, you need to be in the present. So there's going to be this sense of, thinking, oh, I can be in the future, I can be in the past, that God, Janus is really coming up. And it's like, where do I stand? What do I stand for? Pulled back and forth. And yes, you need that guidance to know your history and to know what you desire, to know your dreams. But if you only live for the past and the future, you never live for the now. So here, be here now is what the hummingbird spirit says. And then it leads you to the salmon spirit, which is rebirth, moving forward, happiness, eternal life, and the divine feminine being around you. This is letting life be love and letting love be life. And so here, with the koi fish spirit, it says there is always enough. There is always enough love. There's always enough depth of emotion to lead you forward. And as you move towards what you desire, you're going to see, like the nightingale spirit, love is all around you. And that moves you to the 10 of earth. Right now, during this moon, you are highly embedded in the earthly plane. All right, so a lot of times, Scorpio, it's kind of like, okay, I can get to that later, or that's not really where I want to stand or what I stand for, and you go off and you do your thing, and you don't need others to understand. And it's not that you need others to understand now. It is that you are stepping into a power that you are creating on this earthly plane. It's kind of like you've tended the gardens, you've planted the seeds, you've done what needed to be done, and now you're embracing what you truly want and what you truly stand for. And that's bringing wealth, prosperity, abundance, success, bounty into your life. And you're claiming it, right? It's a wealth that lasts for generations. And you're claiming it because you sit on your throne. You are the king of earth at this moment. And it's like, yes, you can be affected by an earth sign energy, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. It can be somebody who is greatly helping you. This can also be somebody who, they're changing the way that they've looked at things, and they're going to find that a weight is lifted off of their shoulders to move them forward. With the king of wands, not the wands, of earth, there is the sense of looking at what you want, of seeing what you desire, of looking at the reason you stand here, and you are moving forward towards that truth, towards that power. And as you do so, you're seeing a completion of a cycle. You're seeing yourself having learned so much. And as you have learned, you're going to see that there is invaluable information that is around you. And you might say, Dane, there isn't though. There's almost, it's almost as if, yeah, you're walking through that portal. You're walking into that place that you want to be within yourself. Yes, it takes work. Will it happen instantaneously during this moon? For some it will, yeah. For others it won't. But as you're looking forward, you're seeing here that stag moon coming in, okay, which is the Capricorn moon, which is the July moon. You're crowned with the antlers. You are the king of your forest. You're the king of what you desire, of your passion, of your determination. And as you're looking at things, as you have learned what you stand and what you stand, where you stand and what you stand for, this has led you to really opening up your heart to what you want. And it's being really serious here. I mean, Scorpio, it's kind of like you might have to do the hard work not might. You have to do the hard work because that's what life's about. But you're seeing what you desire. You're seeing what you want. And you're saying, this is what I stand for. This is where I stand. And if others cannot understand, that's fine, that's them. But this is me. And I have the right to have this power, to have this prosperity, to have this abundance in my life. And there is a kingliness to you. You're not backing down. You're not turning yourself from what you see as your prosperity, what you know is part of your truth. And as you do so, you have the happily ever after. You're crowned by it. You know that you are moving towards what you love. You know that, yeah, you might be going through dark times, and yes, things might not be fair, most definitely. But you are looking at what you want from your life. And I'm just seeing here, I had a conversation with somebody years ago. And it was just, I don't know if the person meant to be so bitingly cruel, but they were. And that was just this person. They just kind of spoke out of their behind. And here, it's like you've had those people come into your life. Those people who sit there and say, well, really, you're thinking about doing this? Like, do you not understand there's nothing to this, or there's nothing to you, or, I can't believe you're here when you worked so hard and now we're in the same spot type of thing. You really thought you were better, or you thought you could get ahead more. And it's stuff like that made you, that like sunk a knife in your heart, that made you look at what you love, what you're creating, what you desire, and made you really question yourself. Scorpio, now you're taking back that power. And it's like, listen, you're a schmuck. You are an absolute jerk. And I do not need to listen to you. That voice inside my head that connects me to the past, all right? The voice inside your head who connects you to your past, no. The past hurt, the past trauma, it's like, no. I'm claiming the happiness, and I am claiming the peace. Because what is saying? No one can hurt you unless you give them permission. And it's kind of like, yes, people do hit the nail on the head, especially if they're a little bit, perceptive or intuitive and just nasty. They can really just destroy people. And here, you're taking back your love. You're taking back your power. You've come to the completion of this cycle. And what you're doing is you're burning other people's stories. And you're also burning the old pains, the old hurts that you have had around you. Now, this could be actually sitting there, writing it out, and then taking, a candle or a match and lighting it on fire and letting it kind of burn out in the sink, with the water running and stuff like that. Just be super safe. When I was little, that's how my mom would have us write to God or to angels. She was like, just write what you desire, and then she would roll it all up, and at night she would burn it, and she'd be like, okay, the message floats on the wind, floats on the smoke. And it's kind of like you're going to see that the message that you no longer want in your life anymore, the message of negativity, it floats on the smoke. They purify it. They purify that air, all right? And you're going to find that when you write down the intentions of what you want, you can burn those too. It's kind of like you let go of what holds you back. You let out that smoke. And you also let out what your heart truly wants, because you're moving towards your happiness. And it's kind of like, yeah, I might have to be doing hard work to get to where I'm happy, to get to where I want to be. But I will not be dishonoring myself by not going after this purpose, this joy, this happiness, this power in my life and in my love. You have the messenger of air right here. This is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, an Aquarius, but this is also you. Because everything here within these readings, they equate back to you. And so here, with the 5 of water, you might very well find that this air sign energy, if this is an outside person within your life, they have a tendency to focus on the wrong things. And this is a person who's really going to be ticking you off, right? You might very well be having a short fuse with this person. You might find yourself distancing yourself from this person because you're going to be looking at what they focus on. And you're going to be thinking, what the heck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You know, why is this your obsession? And that can bring, I feel it's just like this passion in you. It's like, come on, like, it's almost like grow up. And so here with the messenger of air, you are looking at your mind. You're looking at what you want. You're looking at what you desire. And you're defending it. You're moving forward. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You're going after your truth. And it's connecting with your heart. Now, why the heart and the mind have to be connected is because I am of the firm belief that we are emotional beings. We come from a place of emotions. As much as we would like to say, okay, we're just logic, or you could say we're just emotions, and then you'll see if people who believe that they're just emotions, it's usually very chaotic. People who believe they're just logic tend to be very kind of stern and stiff. You want to be in the middle. You want to be right in the middle because you want your heart to be talking to your mind and your mind to be talking to your heart and saying why. Constantly asking why. Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why is this aggravating me? Why do I find this overwhelming? You might find that to be an overwhelming way to live or just what to start asking yourself, things to be doing. But it's not every moment of every day. It's when you have those intense emotions coming forward because you're defending your mind, your truth, the way that you see things. It's almost like you're defending your logos. Logos, there we go. And then with the 5 of waters, you're changing your mind and you're changing your life. And as you change your mind, as you change what you're focusing on, emotionally, personally, you're going to find that you enter into love. And love is one of the most powerful words that we can hear. One of the most powerful, emotions that can be around us. And so here, as you move forward, as you have that paradoxical shift coming in, as you embrace love, because as you're looking at your dimensional self, it's kind of like as you're looking at yourself now and you're saying, but it's time. Because for some of you Scorpios, you're really going to sit there and just be like, but it's time. I know it's time. For others of you, you might not be there yet. And that's totally cool. Everybody has their journey. Everybody has their path. And so here, if it is your time to be moving towards something more, something better, something more authentically you, what you have dreamed of for so long, what has been a picture in your mind's eye, you're going to find that you're taking aim. And even if you're not ready yet, you're still taking aim on your hero's journey because you're burning the past. You're letting go of the past. You're saying, you know what, these are ashes I do not want in my life anymore. And you're connecting with your angels and your spirit guides saying, these are the dreams on the wind that I give to you. These are what my heart desires. Please let them be around me. Let them move and flow and ebb, kind of like the muses move and flow and ebb around a person. Let that inspiration be a part of me. And then you'll start to see inspiration everywhere. And for you, Scorpio, it's very easy for you to see inspiration. It really is. It is something that you are kind of pre-wired for, to see inspiration, to see beauty, to hear the whispers on the wind, and be able to kind of make out their melody, their song. And so as you're taking aim for what you want, you have the Ace of Fire. This is passion, this is creativity, this is instinctual self, this is determination. And this is what you're taking aim during this Sagittarius moon, what you're loading your arrow, your bow with, and you're letting the arrow fly. This is your passion. This is your fire. This is your soul. This is yourself. And as you let it fly, you have here the 6 of air. You're moving forward in knowledge. You're moving forward in understanding. You're moving forward knowing that you have gathered up what is valuable to you. And it's time to move. It's time to go. It's time to go after. You know more than you give yourself credit for. And as you embrace this knowledge, you embrace the connection between your mind and your heart, but also the connection between your prosperity, what you view as prosperity, and your mind. So you're looking at things and you're moving towards your passion. You're moving towards this gift because you are taking it. And as you take it, it starts to color and shape every aspect of yourself so that you stand as a king. Because you've changed your mind. You've changed your mind and you've changed your whole entire life by saying, I am not going to be the person who just looks at the spilt milk. I am not going to be the person who looks at the sorrow, the pain, the disappointment, and says, but that's my lot. That's where I stand. I'm looking at the person who looks at the 2 cups standing behind me and says, but I have the minor arcana lover's card here. I have this love. And from love, everything can be built. It's not saying, like Romeo and Juliet, that love conquers all and you can just live on love alone. No, there are practical problems within the world that you have to address. And if you just sit there and say, oh, I'll just give it all up and live in rags, that most likely will not bring happiness. It might bring happiness to some, but it is a very hard road to walk. Because here you have the essence of yourself shining forward, and it is transformation. It is. It is absolute transformation of self. It is the death card. Now, Scorpio, the reason why, if you read about, you probably read about your own sign and stuff like that, and people be like, Scorpios are hard to understand. Because you guys see what other people fear. And you embrace it. Death is something people fear. I mean, we have a whole industry spent to make people look young. People get their faces cut apart in really severe ways. It's not just a little bit here and there. It's like, wow, that was intense. To make themselves look young forever. It doesn't really work. There's something, of course, about youth that cannot be obtained again. And that's something that you know. You know that as you move forward, there are parts of life, parts of self, that cannot be walked in again. And that might not be something that you want to know or that you want to embrace. But it is something that is part of the truth that makes you so powerfully intense. And as you look at this transformation, as you look at this transformative self, this fire within you, okay, that is gifted to you from the divine, that is a part of you here. You see yourself in shadows and in light. You see yourself seeing things more clearly than before. And as you see it, as you understand it, you embrace the fool's journey. You embrace your hero's path. And the fool says, yeah, they'll laugh. Yeah, some will not understand. They might mock and tease. But this is your life. And it's time to walk your path. It's time to embrace your story. And it's time to say, others, they have their own hero's paths to walk. They have to find it. You cannot find it for them, Scorpio. And as you find your path, you become a king, which automatically means that you are a person that others look towards, look to, and you move forward. And you'll bring people forward with you just by the sheer act of being you. So let's see how the moon correlates with this. What the moon has to say. How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the June 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly. So strong Sagittarius presence. Okay, So we start off with the void. And it's like, and that's what you're stepping into. You're stepping into this void. You're like on the precipice of this void-like state. It's like you think that there's nothing out there, but there's actually everything out there for you. All right? And it's kind of like, do you walk forward? Do you leap or do you stay? And you might say, oh, well, duh, you leap. It's not going to be as easy as that. It's going to be this sense of, how do I move forward? What plans do I need to make? And there is just this sense here of almost stepping into that next dimension, looking at your mind, like really doing the work within your mind and within your heart and saying, where is it that I want to be? What is it that I stand for? What is it that I desire? And then you take those steps forward. And it has you here embracing the void as you embrace everything, as you embrace prosperity, bounty, and beauty, which then leads you towards the mutable moon, which says nothing is yet set in stone. So even if you might see yourself as a king, you're not there yet. Even if you might see yourself as a peasant, you're not there yet. So here, it's like, peasant is a weird word to use, but that's okay. But here, with the king of earth, it's like nothing is set in stone, and you can become that king that you want to be and embrace that power, that prosperity, that determination that a king has. It's like being a really good king. It's not being one of those wishy-washy kings. It's being the kings that had a tremendous impact on their people and that were able to lead by example and by force and by, determination. And it leads you to a release. It leads you to a release that brings your heart's joy, that brings your heart's power. It's like, I need to purge the negativity to embrace the light, the love, the beauty, the prosperity. And as I purge with the full moon in Leo, do not let pride stand in your way. Do not sit there and think, well, I can handle that, and I can handle that, and oh, I can do that. Let go of what needs to be let go. Let go of those who need to be let go of. And let beauty guide you forward. But don't let pride guide you forward. Stand your ground, know your truth. But know when the ego takes over. Because it has a tendency to. It's kind of like, and it's a hard thing to identify when it's like, I will not be defeated, just by the world in general. Or it's, I will not be defeated because I will not show weakness, kind of thing. Because you are looking at your world in general and saying, I will not be defeated by others. And as you say this, you step out of the ego, of the self, and into the purpose of the self. And say, yes, it is hard. Life is hard. It is a battle. It is overwhelming. But there's a purity to you. There's that gentleness of the dear spirit coming forward in the messages of the mind that guide you. There's like this pure knowledge that is a part of you, that you are embracing, and that you will continuously be embracing during this time, which leads you to the third quarter moon, which says adjustments are required. Yes, because you're changing your mind and you're changing your whole entire life. You're not looking at what others demand of you. You're not looking at the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointments. You're looking at the love that you want. And it's time, Scorpio. It's time to have that love be a part of your existence, be a part of yourself. It can be sexual love, it can be emotional love, it can be, just love for life in general, waking up each day and saying, this is my past, this is my truth. Not, oh my gosh, seriously, another day. And as you find this love, and as you embrace this love, you see the resilience of you. And it's the resilience that divinity has given you. And you look at things, and you've been carrying the world tree on your shoulders. It's like, now it's time to take aim. It's time to put down and plant what you desire, where you want to be, how you want to be moving forward. Because with the new moon in Sagittarius right here, it says luck is on your side as you move towards your goals, as you embrace what you love. And as you do so, you know that nothing is yet set in stone. You know that everything is always changing. And as you know this, you make the adjustments to have that water flow, to have that emotional truth flow to where you want it to be, to carve its path as it needs to be. It's kind of like carving out the Grand Canyon. And as you do this, you really are very self-reflective during this time. Self-reflection right on top of the essence of you. Really looking into yourself. What do you want? What do you desire? What do you need, Scorpio? And then you're going to start to see many different avenues of you open up. You might very well be sitting there one night, or laying in your bed and thinking, what do I want? And I would not be surprised at all if you start seeing the different pathways that you could take, the different ways your life can branch out. It may be very, very, very it's overwhelming, it is, but for some it may be more overwhelming than for others. And as you see the different branches that you take, you see the different ways that you can move forward, the different constructs to your reality, right? You choose. You choose, because this is your life. And it's not just saying, oh, okay, I'm walking into a fairy tale. It's like, no, I'm choosing this path and I am going after it, doggedly stubborn. And as you do so, you step out of your comfort zone and you begin the hero's journey. You begin a journey that is breathtakingly life-changing, that is profoundly powerful. And don't let pride get in your way as you start it, because you know that nothing is set in stone. So it is always changing, always growing, always becoming. Check in with the different avenues of yourself. See where it is that you stand and what it is that you stand for. Go after that pathway. Your subconscious message for this whole entire time is strength. A Leo energy, okay? So strong Leo presence here, time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd, right? Embrace your passion, embrace your strength. Leos have, the strength card has prosperity come to it. It's kind of like, that's why you can sit there. But a lot of times when you look at Leos, you'll be like, how come they can kind of step in manure and come out smelling like a rose? Like, how does that work? It's not with every single one of them, of course, but with a lot of them. And you're seeing here, it's kind of like you're going to have that luckiness with you, but you're going to see the challenges that you have, just as the Leos see the challenges that they have. But there's going to be this radiance, this beauty, this power, that subconsciously things start coming to you. Things start moving you forward. And as you're seeing this, as you're, embracing this, it moves you to the subconscious message of Luna, which is the masculine. There's severe masculine strength around you. There's this sense of rising in power, rising in power, rising in determination, rising in the fertility of yourself. And as you do so, your subconscious moon message then says, a new romantic cycle begins. And it can very well be a new romantic cycle, a new cycle of passion and discovery, with another human being. But it can also be a new romantic cycle of your life, because you are that king, you are that masculine energy, you are that lunar god, and you will not be held back, and you will be moving forward. And there's a balance that comes. And as that balance comes, you are empowered. All right, Scorpio, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I hope you have a blessed moon, that you are staying safe, and I love you all. Bye.